I tried this weird garden boost. The results will shock you. As a gardener, I'm always looking for ways to make my plants healthier, my soil richer, and my harvests more abundant. Over the years I've tried countless techniques, from traditional fertilizers to the latest organic amendments, but nothing intrigued me as much as a simple, almost forgotten combination: charcoal and urine. Yes, it sounds unusual, but stick with me. I promise the results are worth it. In this article, I'll take you step by step through how I used this mix to make my garden thrive, why it works, and how you can safely use it in your own garden. Why charcoal and urine? Understanding the magic. At first glance, using charcoal and urine might sound strange, even a little gross, but there's solid science behind it. Charcoal is a powerful soil enhancer. It improves aeration, retains moisture, and provides a home for beneficial microbes. When added to the soil, it doesn't just sit there, it actively transforms your garden's micro-ecosystem, making nutrients more available to plants. Urine, on the other hand, is a natural, nitrogen-rich fertilizer. It contains a balance of nitrogen, phosphorus, and potassium, the primary macronutrients plants need to grow. Nitrogen promotes leafy growth, phosphorus supports root and flower development, and potassium strengthens overall plant health. The key, however, is proper dilution. Undiluted urine can easily burn your plants, so precision is essential. When combined, charcoal acts like a sponge, retaining nutrients from the urine and slowly releasing them into the soil. This synergy not only reduces nutrient runoff, but also fosters healthier, more resilient plants. Over the past season, I've applied this mix to a section of my garden, and the difference was astonishing. Vibrant green leaves, stronger stems, and more prolific fruiting. Harvesting and preparing your ingredients. Before we get into mixing, it's essential to gather the right materials. Start with activated charcoal. It can be bought from gardening stores or made at home from wood or coconut shells. Crush the charcoal into small pieces so it can integrate easily with your soil. Next, you'll need fresh, clean urine. If possible, use urine from a healthy adult with no recent medications that might harm your plants. Remember, safety first. For beginners, it might help to think of this as a two-part process. First, we'll create the charcoal and urine mix. Second, we'll prepare a standard FPJ, or fermented plant juice, from leafy greens to compare results. I've found that having both in the garden allows you to see firsthand which treatment produces more vigorous growth. Alright, let's walk through the step-by-step process for making the charcoal and urine mix. First, you'll want to start by grinding your charcoal into small granules. The smaller the pieces, the more surface area you'll have available for nutrient absorption. Next, dilute the urine. Mix 1 part urine with 10 parts water. This step is really crucial, because if the mixture's too strong, your plants might actually suffer. For example, if you've got 100 milliliters of urine, go ahead and combine it with 1 liter of water. Now, add about 10 to 20 grams of crushed charcoal for every liter of that diluted urine. Stir the mixture gently and let it sit for 24 to 48 hours. This resting period gives beneficial microbes time to colonize the charcoal, turning your simple mixture into a microbe-rich nutrient boost. Once it's ready, you can apply this mix directly to the soil around your plants, and it's best to do this in the early morning or late afternoon to avoid leaf burn. For a standard garden bed of about 10 square meters, I typically use around 1 liter per week. Of course, you'll want to adjust according to your garden's size, but remember, the key is consistency, not excess. To really see the impact of the charcoal and urine mix, I like to prepare a standard FPJ, or fermented plant juice, from leafy greens like comfrey moringa, or even just local garden weeds. You chop the leaves finely and place them in a container with water, then let them ferment for 3 to 7 days, giving them a good stir each day. Once it's done, strain the liquid and apply it to a separate set of plants in the same garden. By comparing both treatments side by side, you'll be able to directly observe which method produces greener leaves, stronger stems, and better fruiting. It's a pretty neat experiment, honestly. Application is where, honestly, a lot of gardeners tend to make mistakes. For the best results, you want to apply your charcoal and urine mix right at the base of the plant, directly onto the soil. Try to avoid pouring it on the leaves, since even diluted urine can cause leaf burn. For established plants, apply once a week in the morning. Now, Young seedlings are more sensitive, so start with smaller doses, about half the recommended amount, and gradually increase as your plants get stronger. Consistency is way more important than volume here. Applying small amounts regularly will keep a steady nutrient supply and help your plants really thrive. Over the course of a month, I've noticed that the treated plants show remarkable improvements compared to untreated ones, larger leaves, more flowers, and just healthier growth all around. One of the most exciting parts of experimenting with natural fertilizers is, honestly, just observing the results. You want to keep a notebook or maybe use your phone to track things like plant height, leaf color, fruit set, and just the overall health of your plants. Taking photos weekly is a great way to have a visual record too. Over time, you'll start to notice patterns that help you refine your dosages and timing. For example, I realized that my tomatoes responded best to a slightly higher charcoal-to-urine ratio, while my leafy greens really thrived with a more diluted mix. By comparing the charcoal and urine mix to standard FPJ, you also get some insight into which plants benefit more from microbial support versus a nutrient-rich liquid fertilizer. This kind of data is honestly invaluable for planning your future garden seasons. While this method is highly effective, there are a few key tips to make sure you're staying safe and getting the best results. Always dilute urine properly so you don't risk damaging your plants. It's important to use fresh, clean containers to avoid any contamination. Try to apply the mix in the early morning or late afternoon. This helps reduce evaporation and lowers the risk of leaf burn. And honestly, if you're new to this, start with a small test plot. That way, you can observe how your plants respond before you commit to your whole garden. Another tip: don't worry too much about the smell. Dilution really cuts down on odor, and mixing with charcoal helps neutralize it even more. Over time, the soil itself absorbs the nutrients and benefits from that microbial boost. The combination of charcoal and urine is really more than just a clever fertilizer hack. It's a solid soil health strategy. Charcoal enhances microbial activity, improves soil structure, and helps retain moisture. Urine, on the other hand, provides a natural balanced nutrient supply. Put together, they create a thriving environment where your plants can grow vigorously and resist stress, pests, and disease. In my experience, plants treated with this mix not only grew faster but also produced richer, more abundant harvests. Leaves were greener, stems were sturdier, and fruiting was just more consistent. The beauty of this method is that it's low-cost, sustainable, and honestly adaptable to any garden size. Whether you're growing vegetables, herbs, or fruit trees, a little charcoal and urine really does go a long way. Experimenting with natural fertilizers takes curiosity, patience, and a willingness to observe. My own journey with charcoal and urine taught me that sometimes the simplest methods give you the most impressive results. By combining science with hands-on observation, you can give your garden a natural boost that's safe, effective, and sustainable. If you decide to try this method, remember to track your results carefully, and don't be afraid to adjust the ratios based on your specific plants and soil conditions. Gardening is a personal journey, and honestly, the best lessons usually come from direct experience. If you found this guide helpful and want more practical, experiment-driven tips to help your garden thrive, don't forget to subscribe to Soil Sage Chronicles. And hey, share this article with fellow gardeners who are curious about natural fertilizers and sustainable growth. Together, we can grow healthier gardens, one innovative mix at a time.